friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing one of my favorite reading corners, historical romance. There's just something about these stories that keeps me coming back, whether it's sweeping romance, dramatic history, or characters who absolutely refuse to make sensible life choices in the best way. So today I'm talking about some of my favorite historical romance authors, a bit about how they fit into my reading journey, and then I'll share the specific books I love most from each of them. I want to start with the authors themselves because each of them has played a really different role in my reading journey. So first up we have Julia Quinn. Julia Quinn is one of my go-to historical romance authors. Her writing is witty, charming, and incredibly bingeable, and she's a big reason so many people, myself included, got pulled into historical romance through Bridgerton. And then we have Tessa Dare. Tessa Dare is such a comfort read author for me. Her books are romantic, funny, and really easy to fall into when I want something cozy but still engaging. Lynsay Sands is a Canadian author, and I really gravitate towards her historical romance work, especially her Highland and historical settings. Those are the ones that consistently keep me hooked. Johanna Lindsey was an American author born in Germany, and she's one of those classic historical romance authors known for big emotion, strong chemistry, and very dramatic storytelling. She sadly passed away in 2019, but her books still feel really timeless to me. Finally, Philippa Gregory is an English novelist born in Kenya, and she leans more into historical fiction with strong romantic and emotional threads. She's actually the author who first pulled me into historical fiction back in high school. I remember reading one of her books and just completely falling into that world, and that was really the starting point for my love of historical storytelling. So those are the authors that really make up the backbone of my historical romance and historical fiction reading. Now I want to get into the actual books I love from each of these authors. These are the ones I always think of first when I talk about them, or the ones I'd recommend if someone asked me where to start. Now I don't have all of the physical books around me. I do have a few actual physical books. However, I will have the pictures so that you can see what the covers look like. With Tessa Dare, I always find myself coming back to Romancing the Duke, The Governess Game, Do You Want to Start a Scandal, and The Scot Ties the Knot. Those are such fun romantic reads, and they really capture what I love about her writing. There's humor, charm, and that really cozy historical romance feeling. Julia Quinn is one of those authors where I could honestly talk about entire series instead of just individual books. I absolutely love the Bridgerton series. It's such a comfort world for me, and I actually have a set of the whole Bridgerton books and special editions. And I also really enjoyed the Smythe-Smith Quartet and the Rokesby Trilogy, and I'm probably saying that wrong. They all just have the same easy bingeable feel that makes them perfect when I want something familiar and fun. With Lynsay Sands, and I don't have any of her books down here on these shelves. As I've said many times, I really love the Highland Brides series. It is truly a comfort read for me. Specifically, I love To Marry a Scottish Laird, Falling for the Highlander, Surrender to the Highlander, and Hunting for a Highlander. Outside of that, I also really enjoyed A Perfect Wife, Lady in Disguise, and Lady Pirate. Her historical romances just have that really entertaining, easy to read style that makes them really bingeable to me. Johanna Lindsey is where I go for more classic, sweeping historical romance. I really love The Gentle Rogue from the Mallory Anderson family series, along with Make Me Love You, Marriage Most Scandalous, and Amanda Call My Own. These are the kind of stories that feel big, emotional, and really immersive. And then with Philippa Gregory, I tend to lean more toward her historical fiction, but with strong emotional and romantic threads running through them. The Other Boleyn Girl, The Virgin's Lover, and The Boleyn Inheritance are some of the ones that I've really enjoyed and keep thinking about. So those are some of my favorite books from each author. These are the ones that really stick with me or that I reach for when I want specific historical romance or historical fiction moods. These are by no means the only options. I have many, many books from each of these authors. These are just the ones that seem to stick in my mind a lot more. What I love about historical romance is the escapism. You get these rich, detailed worlds, Regency ballrooms, Highland landscapes, and historical courts, and then layered into that are these really emotional, character-driven relationships. And I think part of why this genre stuck with me so strongly is because of Philippa Gregory. Reading one of her books back in high school was really my first introduction to historical fiction, and it kind of opened the door for everything that came after. I also love how each author brings something completely different to the genre. Some are light and funny, some are dramatic and intense, and some are more grounded in history. But they all give me that same feeling of getting completely lost in a story. So, those are some of my historical romance favorites. I'd love to know yours too, especially if you have any authors I should add to my ever growing TBR. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more bookish content. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, stay cozy and keep reading.